Hey everyone,
That's this guy,
this is that guy.
and we are
The This and That Guys.
This is Collection Central.
That is Memory Lane,
This is 80s All Day.
and that is the Pee-wee's Playhouse Playset by Matchbox.
Peewee Herman. Has there been a generation since the 80s not familiar with this grown child of a man? Born Paul Rubenfeld on August 7, 1952, it would be 25 years later that the entity of Peewee Herman would begin developing and making public appearances. In the meantime, Rubenfeld, changing his name to Rubens for the spotlight, would build up his career with an appearance in 1980's The Blues Brothers with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, 2 movie appearances in Cheech and Chong films, and even voicing Trimaxion in Disney's Flight of the Navigator.
First appearing 3 times on the dating game television show, Ruben's alter ego would grab the audience unabashedly, unashamedly, and quite possibly unaware. Pee-wee's oddly childish charisma would win the crowd over again and again. The attention gained from these appearances helped in motivating Rubens to create the full-length stage show debuting the character in his own element. This would lead to an HBO special based on the stage performance, The Pee-wee Herman Show in 1981.
Achieving some notoriety as Pee-wee, the popularity of the character in the 1981 show would lead to a feature-length movie directed by Tim Burton entitled Pee-wee's Big Adventure in 1985. Such an unexpected hit was this film that we would finally arrive at the biggest milestone of Ruben's career, the hit show Pee-wee's Playhouse, debuting in 1986 and running for 5 full seasons.
So popular was the show that we would see many celebrities in their early stages of fame making appearances. Names like Sandra Bernhard and Jimmy Smits would drop by in character, and Lawrence Fishburne even famously made his debut in this TV show with his ongoing character, Cowboy Curtis. Yes, Morpheus was first programmed as a cowboy. Top all this off with an unforgettable earbug sung by Cyndi Lauper to introduce each episode, and you've got the hit show that captured and encouraged the imagination of children nationwide.
And just as unforgettable as the theme song was that entity would share the name of the show with our titular kid at heart, the Playhouse itself. Pee-wee's Playhouse was the location where every child's imagination could be unleashed. Just stepping through the Playhouse door still now seems enough to transport even adults back in time to the kid inside.
And what a surprise to learn that it was none other than Matchbox who stepped up to present us with the ultimate Playhouse playset. Matchbox, a company now owned by Mattel, was established in 1953 and sprung from the mind of Jack Odell. When his daughter wanted to take a toy to school, the rule of the day was that any toy brought to school must be able to fit inside of a matchbox. The old school strikeable cardboard box measuring only inches, which held wooden matches. Odell, who worked with Lesney Products, selected one of the company's models and scaled it down to fit the school rule, birthing a brand that has been on toy shelves for over 7 decades.
Once licensing was acquired in 1988, Pee-wee's Playhouse, Scooter, Friends, and Playhouse Pals hit the toy shelves, mostly separately, enabling the avid fan to collect and reenact entire episodes from the famous show, or create their own imaginative adventures in Pee-wee Land.
The Playhouse is packaged quite brilliantly as its own carrying case, which when closed up gives us a 3D view of the entire outside. But as with the show itself, the real adventures take place once you step inside.
Very few characters were included with the Playhouse. That's why only avid fans were usually found in possession of the entire collection. For example, the playset itself only included the round sofa, a couple plastic pieces of furniture, and the friends that were literally built into the Playhouse: Mr. Window, Clocky and Flory, and the Dancing Flowers.
And although Pee-wee himself somehow wasn't included in the playset, the company did see fit to include his scooter. Being Matchbox, we assumed the scooter was the sole reason Matchbox wanted exclusive rights to produce these toys. Sold together were Pee-wee with his helmet and scooter, Globey and Randy, and Jambi and the Puppet Land Band. The rest of the characters had to be purchased separately.
As each character assembles, find yourself able to step into newer and newer adventures, ones from your own imagination. And then, like each fantastic ending to Pee-wee's Playhouse, open the secret door, hop on your scooter, and ride out into the sunset.